I'm just gonna spoil it. If you haven't seen it, don't bother. That's my recommendation. So yeah, I'm just gonna go into full spoilers. I'll start off with the good. John Bernthal as the Punisher, he kills it. He completely owns this role. He has from the start, and he continues to. So here's the thing about this season. There are really two shows here. There's The Punisher, and then there's the Billy Russo Adventures. The Punisher is a good show. I really enjoyed The Punisher. The Billy Russo Adventures are so boring, and they spend so much time on it. It's insane. Why? I don't understand. So, Billy Russo, he's back. He's back, right? The Punisher messed him up at the end of the first season. And by the way, I want to say, I liked Billy Russo in the first season. I thought he was a good villain. I thought he served his purpose in the first season. I thought he had a good arc. The character served its purpose in the first season. And it's like I don't know if they felt like they had to bring him back for the second season. He loses his memories because of the beating that Frank gives him at the end of the first season. And in this season, he loses all of his memories of what happened beforehand. So that sounds like it could potentially be interesting, but it's just like half of the show is just Billy Russo going like, memories! I lost my memories! I can't remember anything! Boo! That's so much of the show. It's just that. And then you have this psychologist character that sucks so much. She just falls in love with him for no reason. I guess it's like a Joker and Harley dynamic. That's what it kind of felt like. But it's like, why? This is a show called The Punisher. Why are they spending so much time on it? Like, if it was just a small part of the show, then I'd probably be fine. Like, I'd be okay, whatever. But it's literally, I don't know if it's literally half of the show that focuses on this, but it fucking feels like it. It focuses on Billy with this psychiatrist. This relationship has nothing to do with the Punisher. No, it gets to the point where Madani has to literally call Frank and be like, "Hey, can you come over here and help us?" Because they couldn't, the writers, they couldn't figure out a way to organically have these two meet. It's just why is this in the show, and why does it take up so much of the show? Okay, well, you know what? Let's talk about Madani. Her character's awful this season. Literally, her character is only there to hate Billy Russo. That's it. There's nothing else to this character. It's just hating Billy Russo. That's all her character is this season. And I thought she was a decent character in the first season. This season, why not involve her in what Frank and Amy are up to? Get her involved. Have her character have something to it other than just, I hate Billy Russo, this is my character. There's nothing else. And it's and it's not like the Billy Russo storyline and the Frank and Amy, it's not like Frank and Amy running from the organization and Billy Russo, these two storylines, they never come together. They're completely separate things. But, one of them is infinitely more interesting than the other, but they spend an equal amount of time on each. And again, I don't know if that's exactly true, but that's what it feels like. I liked Amy. I like the whole story with the Punisher trying to save Amy from the bad people. I thought that was good. I like their camaraderie. I like their chemistry. Excuse me while I die. My body is slowly deteriorating. No, but I like the Punisher and Amy. I thought they had good chemistry. All that stuff was great. I like the villains. I like the guy, the preacher guy. I don't are Amy and the preacher guy, are they from the comics? I would assume so. I guess probably, right? I don't know. But I like them. I thought they were good. There's some stuff towards the end of the season that I'll get into later that I was like, wait, what? But yeah, overall, the Punisher, the everything that had to do with the Punisher, I thought was solid. I thought was good. If that's what the season was, I think I'd be a lot more positive about it. The problem is that there's like an entire other half of this show that doesn't have to do with the Punisher. But they just put it in this season. I don't really know why. And I mean, like, sure, like, I have other gripes too, but they're not really as big. Like, for one, they bring in Karen Page into this season, and they just do a really weird thing with her character. Like, she comes in like she's in love with Frank Castle. Like, it's just weird. Like, at one point, she says, like, I would leave everything to help you. And it's like, no, would you, though? Like, would you? Like, I don't know. I thought she seemed, like, a bit too into Frank Castle. Like, to the point where she would, like, destroy her life for him. I don't know. It was just weird. Like, the final episode is actually just bad. Like, it's pretty bad. Because it's like everyone is just an idiot. Like, the detective guy, he's just an idiot by the end of it. Because it's like, but like first of all, at one point, he's just like, he kidnaps Frank Castle. Which is like, what are you doing? Like, call other police officers and properly arrest him. Why are you kidnapping him? So for one, he does that at some point. And then, like, by the end of it, he's just like Curtis. He's just like, you know what, Curtis, you're a pretty decent guy. I'm gonna you did all this illegal shit, but I'm gonna let you leave. I'm gonna let you go off free. It's like, wait, why? No, he still did a bunch of illegal shit. What are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? And then, like, Madani, I think it was in the last episode where, like, she has this fight with the psychiatrist. And this, like, you're like an FBI agent. Why are you getting bodied by this psychiatrist? Like, she ends up throwing the psychologist out of the window. It's like, that's murder. That, like, sure, I guess it's self-defense, but that is straight up murder. And it's like, first of all, like, Madani, you'd think that she would have, like, the skills to just put her down immediately. I don't know. And then, yeah, it's just, it just ends up, it's not worth 13 hours of your life. I wasted 13 hours of my life watching it. The Billy Russo segments made it seem like 26. I don't know. I don't even know what to say about it anymore. It's underwhelming. It's like, and it's stuck in this vacuum of, you know, these shows just, like, we know these shows are going to be canceled, but they had to release this, and they're going to have to release Jessica Jones season 3. So it's just, overall, it's just weird. Again, if you're here and you didn't care about spoilers, like, check out the fights. You can look up some of the fights on YouTube because they're pretty good. But, like, again, there are things that I like about this season. Like, the action is all good. Like, there are a couple really standout Punisher action sequences. There's the first episode in the bar that was awesome, and then they had the one in the gym where that fight was awesome. Yeah, you know, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff in between, but those are the two action sequences where I'm like, oh yeah, that's really gory. The rest of them were they're good, they're decent, but there were really only two real action sequences where I'm like, oh, that's the Punisher right there. And it's really sad, because it's like, so another thing that I didn't really like about this season was that they're still doing the whole thing with Frank trying not to be the Punisher. Like, he starts off, because here's the thing. Daredevil season 2, it ends, and then it leads into Punisher season 1, where at the beginning of it, the Punisher's trying not to be the Punisher. Like, he's just like, I'm a regular guy now. I'm not going to be the Punisher anymore. That's not who I am. I'm a regular guy. I'm going to start a new life. But then, things happen. He gets involved in a situation. He's back. And then it's like, and then this season starts, and he's like, I'm not going to be the Punisher anymore. I'm a regular guy. I'm going to start a new life. And then he gets involved in a situation, and then he's the Punisher again. It's like, why couldn't this season have just been the Punisher? And then the sad thing is that at the end of this season, they like clearly established that he's the Punisher now. That is what he is. And that'd be cool, but we all know this season is gonna be. This show is gonna be canceled because I don't I don't know if you know, but I actually made a video on this. I'll link it in the description below, explaining why. But Netflix is canceling all of their Marvel shows. So we're not even gonna get the promise of the Punisher that was at the end of the season. So that's ultimately why. I mean, if you're still watching this, and if you ignored my spoiler warning, that's why I can't really recommend this because there's good stuff in here. John Bernthal as the Punisher, he's good. His chemistry with the girl that he's trying to protect is good. I also like Curtis. Curtis is always good. Like him and the Punisher, they team up. That's cool. The bad guy, the preacher dude, he's a pretty decent villain. But it's like, that's only half of the show, because the other half focuses on Billy Russo and Madani trying to stop Billy Russo. Like, honestly, and I don't even, the actors aren't the problem. It's just they're not given good material to work with. Like, I wish the showrunners would have just been like, okay, you know what? We had these characters in the first season. They don't necessarily have to be back. I really wish they would have made the smart decision and just not had these characters back. Because they just bogged down the show. Or, I mean, you could have probably involved Madani in the storyline with Frank and Amy trying to run away. You probably could have involved her in that, right? Like, have them do something that catches the attention of the... Is she at the FBI? I think she's the FBI, or is she at the CIA? I know she's in one of them, and then she's in another one at the end of the season. I don't know. But yeah, like, you could have involved her in that. Like, have them do something that catches her attention, and then she's like trying to stop them, but at the same time she helps them at some point. You could have involved her. But no, they have this dumbass Billy Russo storyline that they spend so much time on. And then also what was weird at the end of it is Frank just lets the preacher guy live. It's like, no. It's not like the organization or whatever, it's not like they had his kids hostage. Like, they were all friends. It's not like they had these kids hostage and they were like, you have to do this or else we're going to kill your kids. He's been a willing participant of this organization for years, presumably. You shouldn't let him go. It's like, this character isn't redeemed all of a sudden because he has, an epiphany by the end of the season. I thought that was weird that they just stopped fighting and Frank let him live. That was weird. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to talk about this show anymore. It's just, it's weird. It's in a weird spot because, first of all, it's not, half of it is good, and then the other half of it is awful, and then the ending is really weird and unsatisfying. Although actually, weirdly, Frank just shooting Billy Russo at the end was actually very satisfying. I very much enjoyed that. Please don't bring him back. Please let him be dead. I mean, but yeah, like I was gonna say before, they're not gonna bring him back because the show's gonna be canceled. That's another weird thing about the show, is that it's not, a lot of it isn't very good, and the show's gonna be canceled. And And it's like, yeah, like at the end of the show, like they show Frank Castle being like, I'm gonna be the Punisher now, but the show's gonna be canceled. So you've wasted my time. Like I don't know. It's just overall very unsatisfying. Kind of a waste of time. You can just look up the cool fights, Punisher fights, and on YouTube. Like that's fine, because it's not like Daredevil season 3 where it's like we sort of knew Daredevil season 3 might have be canceled because they canceled Luke Cage and Iron Fist, but at least I feel like Daredevil seasons 1, 2, then The Defenders, and then Daredevil season 3. Like I feel like those 4 seasons tell a really solid story, and they have a satisfying conclusion. This doesn't really have that. Like, I guess you could say that it wraps up the Billy Russo storyline, but, like, I thought it was a pretty satisfying ending after Punisher Season 1. Like, they didn't... This Punisher Season 2 just adds on more stuff that is pointless. So, yeah, I don't... Again, I said I didn't want to talk about it, and I just kept talking about it. Yeah, I don't know. If you've watched the show, maybe you disagree with me. Maybe you love it. Maybe it's your favorite show of all time. I don't know. Tell me your opinion in the comments below. I really want to know. Bye.